Animal Crossing is one of my favorite series out there. I love Animal Crossing. New Horizons wasn't my favorite, but I still love it. And something that I've been thinking about is when it comes to Animal Crossing and when it comes to video games in general, I'm one of these people. I love fishing in video games. I absolutely love it. So with Animal Crossing, naturally, I loved it. I would always be fishing. I streamed a bunch of me fishing. I have the reactions to me catching the sharks. That's on my channel. I love fishing in Animal Crossing. The problem is that when it came to filling out the fish log, whatever you want to call it, when it came to filling that out, it just kind of became, okay, once the next month comes, I get the fish that I needed with so quickly. And that's not a humble brag. It was just literally like whatever new fish were there, I'd get them so fast that I'd already be done for the month. And then before I knew it, I had the whole thing completed when the year was done. So it would just kind of become, once the new month started, I'd be done quickly. So then the rest of the month, it was like, well, I either catch fish for bells or that's it. Because with filling out the museum, same thing. Because once I would get a new one, I'd bring it to the museum, and then there you go. So something that I was thinking about to kind of like spruce up the fishing is, because when you think about it, I mean, the fishing's been pretty much exactly the same, besides adding some new fish, I'm assuming. I'd have to double check that, but I think all they've done is add some new fish. Actually, they definitely did. But other than that, it's the same. You cast the line, the fish goes after the bait, and you just push the button. That's it. And I believe it's a maximum of 5 times. That I don't know if that stayed the same the whole time, but I believe it's a maximum of 5 hits. So even then, when it comes to guessing, once it gets to the 5th one, I mean, you know it's gonna hit the bait, and you just hit the button. So I was thinking that what they could do to make it way more exciting and like more thrilling and more of a grind to want to really keep fishing, and have it be to where like players could choose how intense they want to go at it, is they could have it, which there's something, the reason why there's just a lot to say here. So one of the main things that I want to talk about is they could literally have fishing be like shiny hunting in Pokemon, where every single fish has one, which they could go crazy and have more alternate variants, and some are just more rare than others, but having one variant. So like, let's say the great white shark, they could have one that has like a battle scar on it, and then there's just the regular one. So you could try to go at trying to get the one with the scar on it, and it could have like crazy odds to get. Maybe there's stuff you can craft in the game that has, so now you have more of a chance of catching it. And since the items break, which I found annoying, if there was incentive to make better ones that weren't just that they lasted longer, maybe it's that you have a higher chance of getting a rare variant or something, it would give more incentive to craft these things, and you'd have more incentive to keep fishing, because you'd still be catching other, well, with sharks, you could see the fin, so you'd know to go for that one. But in general, for the fish, you could still be catching the other fish. So it's like you're excluding sharks, because those are the ones you can tell because of the fin. If it's any other type of fish you're trying to get a variant on, you would have to just keep catching random fish until you finally get the rare one of the one that you want. So that would take forever, and that would add so much longevity to not only the game, but it would add so much more to fishing and give a drive to keep fishing, instead of it just being, well, I kind of like fishing, so I'll do it and then sell the fish and get more bells. Because eventually you have so many bells that it's just not, unless you just want to fish just for the relaxation, which like I do once in a while. Other than that, I mean, there's not really a drive to do it. So having that, and then they could have it be that you could also submit those variants to the museum. And I think that would be so cool, because the way they could have it is have it be like, to complete the museum, you just need the regular ones. But if you want to have it be more fancy, or maybe, I mean, they could add like a completionist thing where maybe there is something special you get for adding the variants or whatever. I don't know. But if they wanted to keep it not as intense, what they could do is that either one counts as submitting it. But what you could do is, if you wanted to, so let's say you submitted the regular great white shark, and then you catch the one with the battle scar, and you're like, whoa, this would be so cool to have in the museum. You could talk to Blathers, and Blathers could be like, oh, do you want to replace the one that you have? And then now you have the one with the battle scar, and you could have people come to your island and check out your museum and see the one with the battle scar. Because the way that it's set up now, there's not really much of a point to visit your friend's museum Unless if you're both really lackadaisy on catching fish and it's like, oh yeah, I caught this one, like I want you to see it. Because otherwise, everyone's just gonna kind of fill out the museum. So to be able to have a drive to be like, dude, you gotta check this out, it would just make it really cool. And it would allow you to have something else to go for. Catching all of the variants would be crazy. And even then, even if you just wanted to catch the ones of your favorite fish, I would imagine it would take a while. So not only do you have all of that, then this is where I was saying, like, there's so much that I want to talk about, because this popped into my head on something else that I want to talk about when I was starting, is that, so the other thing that I wish that they would change is allowing you to have custom tanks for the fish. Because already as it is, if the fish is too big, they just put it in like a yellow pool and you can't even really see it. It would be so cool if you could buy like custom tanks and get like custom ornaments for the tanks, and then that way you could put them in your house. Because I would love to have a custom room of just my favorite fish in there. I think it'd be really cool. And you could like combine fish in the tank or something, maybe that'd be too much, but like just being able to customize the tanks, I think would be really cool. And then maybe they could even add a whole side mini game where maybe you could choose to have it like automatically take care of the fish, or maybe there could be a whole thing where like you feed the fish and like you clean the tank. I mean, there's a lot that I think they could do with it that would add so much more to fishing. Because the only other thing that you can really do is just give the fish to CJ, and then CJ makes the statues or trophies or whatever they're called. And that's it. Which, by the way, that whole process is super annoying because it takes like, you can only give so many at a time, and you have to wait until you see CJ in the first place. So the process takes forever. So I think it'd be a lot of fun if there was this whole other side thing, and they could just keep the CJ stuff too. But that's where it'd be so cool. There'd be so many things you could do with fishing by adding this stuff. And then on top of all of this, what they could also do is if the fish is more rare, or if it's a rare variant, they could have it to be where fishing becomes harder. Like there's like a second phase to the fishing. So maybe it always starts off with the fish goes after the bait and does the 1 to 5 times, and then you hit the button. But if it's a rare fish or a rare variant, maybe then it has like a little cutscene so that you know, like, oh, this is going to be crazy. Like, you know, it's going to be like a rare fish, and you still don't know what it's going to be. So it's even more exciting because it's like, is this the rare variant? Which again, you would know with the shark because, you know, well, unless if sharks are considered rare, because then maybe it would do it anyway. But like you would know with sharks because the fin, but if it did it because they're rare anyway, this is getting confusing. So let's just say it's just with rare variants. Let's just say that for the sake of talking about this, it's just the rare variants. So with sharks, you would know because you'd always see the fin. So if it does the cutscene, you're like, oh my gosh, this is the rare variant one. This is crazy. You know what? Actually, this is what they could do. They could have it be that there's like a little like shine. There's a little shine if it's going to be the rare variant one. That way, if it's a rare fish and it does that cutscene anyway, you would know if you see that little like glare. You're like, okay, this is the rare variant one. And then it could have a whole second phase of fishing where maybe now it has to do with keeping the tension on the line. You can't have the tension be too much or else the line will break. And like, that's this whole other wave because now you're kind of like nervous, like the pressure's on. You don't want to mess this up. You spent all day fishing. You finally got this chance to get the rare variant. You saw the shine. You know that it's going to be a rare one or like the variant version of this fish. I think it'd be a ton of fun and I think it would add a ton to fishing. So again, I love Animal Crossing. I think that it's a ton of fun and I still love the fishing in it. But I just think that there's way more that they can do with it. I'm not going to keep my hopes up because I don't think they're going to do this for a next Animal Crossing game. I mean, I would imagine that maybe the fishing would be tweaked to some degree. I don't think they'll really use any of these ideas. Maybe the tension thing, like maybe they change up like how the fishing minigame itself works. But I just don't really see them. I think if they were to do anything, I think what they would do is just have it be that you add different lures to catch different fish. And personally, if that's what they do, I think it just makes fishing more annoying. I think there's a way to go about fishing where it's not more annoying, it's just more thrilling. And I think the ideas that I presented make it more thrilling, but I don't picture them doing it. I wish they would, but you know what? Who knows? I guess you know, you never know, but these are just the ideas that I had. Again, I still love fishing in Animal Crossing. I still love Animal Crossing. I just think that there's more that they could do that would make it more fun. But yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.